The Texas Stars eliminate the Grand Rapids Griffins in the Calder Cup playoffs. Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast.
Welcome back to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. We are a podcast brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network, and we are sponsored by DraftKings. I'm Connor. I'm one of your hosts. You're my brother Kyle.
Yeah, we're a show brought to you by the fans for the fans. We are not officially sponsored by the Grand Rapids Griffins or Detroit Red Wings. We watch a lot of hockey. We watch a lot of Grand Rapids Griffins in particular, so we choose to cover them.
Yep, we go to almost every home game, and we're obsessed with the Griffins, diehard fans. We like to bring the experience to other fans. We like to give away stuff. We like to just spread the word of the Grand Rapids Griffins to everyone to make more Griffins fans. So Grand Rapids Griffins are sadly eliminated. Me and Kyle are here heartbroken today. We were in here crying together. Not good, man.
Yep, the season ended abruptly. A first-round exit for Grand Rapids Griffins. And yeah, I mean, could have told you it was coming. I think we all kind of predicted it since like March, really. If we ended up with Texas Stars in the first round of the playoffs, it wasn't going to go well for us. And yeah, we saw that.
Yep, we were swept. They won all 3 games. And we trailed by a goal in all 3 games within the first 4 minutes of every game. So it was like we were struggling to play catch up the whole series, and we finally got ahead, and we gave it away in the last game, and we lost that one. So we just gotta back to the lab and work on next year.
Yeah, so before we dive too deep into our series review here, as it was rather quick, we want to get into the AHL playoff bracket and talk about that. In the Central Division, we have Texas eliminating Grand Rapids for the division semifinals, moving on to the division finals. Milwaukee manages to win 3 straight versus the Rockford Ice Hogs, moving on after losing the first 2 games. Moving into the
Pacific.
Moving into the Pacific Division.
Colorado Eagles have defeated the San Jose Barracuda 3-1, and the Abbotsford Canucks have finished the Coachella Valley Firebirds 3-1 also. So Colorado and Abbotsford will be playing out for the Pacific Division Finals.
Moving over to the North Division, where it was Laval Rockets going 3-1 against the Cleveland Monsters, and then the Rochester Americans sweeping the Syracuse Crunch. So we will have Laval versus Rochester in the North Division finals.
And then for the Atlantic Division, you got the Hershey Bears and the Lehigh Valley Phantom.
Yeah, the Hershey Bears have advanced on in 5 games from the Phantoms, and the Charlotte Checkers in 5 games have finally moved on from the Providence Bruins. So I got a question for you. Or I guess 2 questions. What team do you want to win it all at this point now that the Griffins are out? And what team do you think will win it all?
So I'm either going for the Charlotte Checkers, but who I think is going to win it, I honestly think that Texas is going to run the table all the way.
Yeah, I think right now the Atlantic Division is has the most competition. I think Laval Rocket has a chance of being the number 1 seed coming into the whole tournament.
All right. What are we betting? $5?
Yeah, we'll save it for DraftKings.
So yeah, the playoffs are full bore, and there's a lot of really good matchups you can watch. You can get everything on Flow TV. That's like $29 a month. So if you want to watch AHL or ECHL, that's what.
So now that we've covered the broad scheme of things in the Calder Cup playoffs, we can discuss what has happened to the Grand Rapids Griffins. So Grand Rapids in this series versus the Texas Stars lost 3 straight games, getting swept 2 games at the Van Andel, 6 days apart. And then 4 days later, a loss in Texas at the HEB Center in double overtime, 5-4.
Yeah, it's a really sad end of the season, especially when we were up 4-1 in that game. It was really disappointing to watch us fall down like that, but
Yeah, it was really just, I thought there was some hope. I thought we really had a chance to come up and swing the tables. But Texas, it was almost like they were teasing us. It's like, yeah, if we really want to win, we just start scoring goals. Like, if we really want this, we would just take it from you. So it kind of felt like we were just getting bullied by the older brother at this point.
yeah, and this makes the Griffins' overall record 15-17 when facing elimination.
Yeah, I believe it was our first double overtime loss ever.
Yep. I had some friends over. They're like, "When does this end? Is there a shootout?" I'm like, "You best crack another beer. It's gonna go till it goes."
Yeah. Till finally someone gives up. Unfortunately, yeah, it was Griffins and the Stars taking this one away. And so for Grand Rapids in Texas in this series, we're going to go over the goals and just some things to compare them. Grand Rapids Griffins having 6 goals to Texas's 13. Grand Rapids had 88 shots to Texas's 110 shots. Our power play scored on 1 of 8 chances for a 12%. Their power play capitalized 3 times on 7 chances for a 43% power play.
Yeah, and that's real disappointing because we've had a very good penalty kill this year, and they just exploited us somehow, and like our strengths weren't our strengths, which is sad.
Yeah, Texas really became our kryptonite here at the end of the season, and just kind of goes to show you these are some of the numbers that stood out to me as why they were obvious victors in all 3 of these games. I mean, they went in every game they were up a goal in the first 4 minutes. And the first 2 games they were up 4 halfway through the second period. So it's like we really didn't stand much of a chance against this Texas team.
No, we really did not, and clearly shows with the results.
And we'll talk about the top players from each team.
Yeah, we got for the Grand Rapids Griffins, our top guy was N64, Michael Brandsegg-Nygard, the first round pick for the Detroit Red Wings last year. He got 2 goals, and they were both really big slappers. Like, he has a really strong slapper shot. Had 1 assist, so 3 points. He definitely tried harder than everyone else, I think. I think he gets my playoff MVP.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, coming in as a rookie, your first time playing over here in North America, finds the net twice in these high pressure moments. And yeah, those shots were fierce.
Yeah, absolutely. So for Texas, we have their top player was Cameron Hughes. He had 2 goals for 4 assists for 6 points. So that double of our best guy. And you also got to mention that he beat the crap out of Nate Danielson.
Yep, and was an absolute heroic manner for the Texas Stars in the final game that Friday night, pushing it down 4-1, gets in a scrap with our first round pick Danielson, throws him around, goes to the penalty box, comes out, scores a goal, and really just initiates the downfall of the Grand Rapids Griffins for this season.
Yep, and then for our goalie, our best goalie was Sebastian Kosa with a 4.51 goals against average, which is not good. And then you got 0.868 save percentage. I can't really blame it all on Kosa. I think mainly our defense was very terrible this whole series. I felt like Texas used their speed. They got behind our guys. William Wallander was all over the place, sliding on the ground.
Yeah. I think for every time Didier clears someone in front of the net, Valinder ends up on his back in the defensive zone. So it's just sometimes you want to see more out of Valinder here late in this series.
And then for Texas Stars, Remy Poirier with a 2.25 goals against average and a .914 save percentage. He's had a great performance this series against the Griffins. He limited a lot of rebounds. He made the saves that mattered. I mean, I felt like he did get some puck luck. Like a lot of the times, if it did go flying, it would go flying right to their guys, not to our guys. But he limited that a lot and He played great. He stayed in his box. You notice some of the plays where Kosa got scored on, he was like sprawled out, starfished over the crease.
Yeah, Remy Poirier really was what led the Stars to their first victory with the shutout. And after that, I mean, he did have a weak point at the end of the second game and at the beginning of the third game. Griffins kind of figured him out a little bit. We actually saw Magnus Hellberg come in to finish third game, but yeah, we did get to see both goalies on both sides. But yeah, Sebastian Kosa and Remy Poirier definitely led the room for their respecting clubs.
Yep, and Poirier got 2.25 goals against average, 0.914 save.
So we can go ahead and dive into our game reviews now after our ads from DraftKings. The NBA 82 game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here, and it's time for the high stakes drama, clutch moments, and jaw dropping plays. I can't wait. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30 points, 40, or more? That's your call. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice.
On Monday, May 5th, the Grand Rapids Griffins host the Texas Stars for Game 2, 6 days after Game 1.
Griffins roll with Jack Campbell this game, and Remy Poirier continues on for the Texas Stars.
The Grand Rapids Griffins were celebrating Cinco de Mayo. They had taco trucks out in front of the Van Andel, and they had margaritas. And there's a nice little turnout there. A lot of good fun fans, but the Griffins did not show up.
So to start the first period, immediately the Griffins try to get the crowd into it with some physical activity as Watson lays a huge hit behind the Stars net. Ryokovin is also smoked by Dominic Shine, but unfortunately this leads to a 1-0 lead for the Texas Stars as a turnover in the neutral zone from Lombardi gets turned around. And Ryokovin, as he's hit by Shine, gets this pass to Luke Chris, and Chris will score it, beating Campbell on the blocker side.
Yeah, and that's his first of the playoffs, assisted by Justin Rokowin and Kyle Capabiaco. So pretty much poor clearing leads to a panic in the neutral zone, leading to poor zone entry.
Yeah, not too much longer. 5 minutes after that, Seeger's pass gets intercepted behind the net by Cameron Hughes. He sends it to the front of the net where a huge scramble occurs. Jack Campbell can't find the puck, and neither can Finney or Seeger. And R2 Haru walks right up behind him and taps this puck into the net.
Yep, that was his first of the series. R2 Haru, assisted by Colin and Cameron Hughes. Cameron Hughes' third point.
Yeah, so another really rough start for Grand Rapids here, where Dominic Shine ended up catching a double minor on that first goal as a high sticking. Michael Brandsegg-Nygard gets a hold, and Ante Tuamisto gets a rough. So some power play chances shut down by the penalty killing unit of Grand Rapids.
And yeah, that the Griffins were also outshot 9-13.
So going on into the second period. So Nate Danielson will catch a boarding penalty early in the second period, which puts the Stars on the power play. Griffins continue to allow the puck to enter the net as they beautifully cycle this around on the power play, get it to the point to Kyle Capabianco. His shot blisters to the net, and Ryokovin tips it in front beating Jack Campbell for the third time.
Yep, and that is his first goal playoffs, a power play goal. Not a good one on us. Things started to get out of hand. I feel like our defense was really starting to fall apart. A lot of bad stuff by Wallander out there. Seemed like he was really getting taken advantage of.
Right in the middle of the second period, we got Ante Tuomiso in the offensive zone, gets his shot blocked. The Stars cycle it quickly, get on the rush, and they find Curtis McKenzie. And he will beat Jack Campbell to make this a 4-0 game, just like the first game, where now back-to-back games, we are down 4-0 just at halfway through the game.
Yeah, Curtis McKenzie gets his second of the playoffs on his old teammate, Jack Campbell. He gets above the glove on a wide open break.
Yeah, and that one just deflating for the whole Griffins nation here. As 2 times in a row, they on a Monday and a Tuesday when the crowd's already quiet, they really let down them, go 4-0 2 nights in a row. So
Yep, so just as all hope is thought to be lost, Griffins get a power play, and Michael Brandsegg-Nygard has some nice puck work and cycling in the offensive zone there. Dominic Shine gets it, makes a shot, goes off the blocker, and Sheldon Dries taps it in.
I actually think it went off his toe. I think it went right off the goalie's toe, and Dries caught it right in the slot and fired that one in for an easy rebound goal. It's amazing how that one looks so easy for the first goal in 2 games.
So Michael Brandsegg-Nygard picking up his first point, playoffs. So second period, Griffins were only outshot by 1 shot, 7-8. A lot more stuff we liked than there. But moving on to the third, come out shooting good.
Yeah, putting pressure on the Stars actually in the third period to start and giving the fans something to cheer about here as it was getting a little rowdy down at the van.
Yeah, so 5 minutes and 20 seconds in, Dominic Shine makes some heroics happen. He literally steals the puck back twice in the offensive zone. He gets it behind the net, passes it right up to Michael Brandsegg-Nygard. Michael Brandsegg-Nygard slams that thing in with a ripper. We say, Tuomiso shot will vaporize you. I think we got a new vaporizer on this team.
Yeah, I really like the way MBM shoots the puck. So really good to see him get that first goal. You know, didn't take long, but we're always eager and waiting to see it happen. So glad we didn't have to wait too long. And yeah, just the play by Shine here to completely work over the Stars on this forecheck, force 2 turnovers, get the puck back, and cycle it right in front to a wide open rookie. I love that by Dominic Shine. So
yeah, so after this goal, I feel like the rest of the period consisted of a lot of like people trying to pass the puck. Like I said before, poor clearing, panic in the neutral zone, horrible offensive zone entry. Everyone was always looking back for a pass. You got dudes wide open, you got shots that you can take, and we just didn't take many shots. We ended up having 3 shots for the whole third period, and that's just not acceptable when you are down 2 goals.
yeah, and in this game, like late, we had a couple power play chances, and I thought ASP looked good, and it just didn't really muster up to anything. I know there's one chance where he missed like a wide open net or it got tipped or something, but yeah, we're waiting for the first goal to go in for ASP too, but I don't think we're gonna get that.
Yeah, I mean, ASP's looked really good. Like he moves the puck good, and he does have a ripper shot from the point. It's just we're getting bad puck luck, and it's just not helping us out.
Yeah, and Texas really just has a way of blocking, tipping, getting everything in front of us. So
Rebound control.
yeah, and got to mention the fans' effort in this one with, I believe, 6 octopuses in total on this night, as I think a lot of people were feeling that it was probably the last home game of the season. So
Yeah,
the Zamboni driver gets 2 octopuses in his hands to spin them around. That was a pretty cool sight. So I know the fans were quite active in this one.
and our buddy Tony avenged himself.
Yeah, Tony, you avenged it.
Tony's out there spinning octopus. The ice crew, phenomenal job this time. I know we threw him in our penalty box last time, but that was absolutely.
Yeah, so great job. A little bit of redemption there for you guys.
So yeah, this one just was a must win. I feel like we had to win this game. It was I mean, we had to win both games, honestly, but we couldn't get a home win, and obviously we're going to be going into Texas, and that's not going to be easy. 3 games, we're going to have to win 3 in Texas, and that's like big stadium, loud stadium, sold out nights probably Friday and Saturday, and
Yeah.
our best bet is win those 2 games. I feel like we can do it on Monday with a smaller crowd.
Yeah, that was the goal, was to get to game 5 and actually feel like we could turn the tables, but losing the first 2 here at home does not help that situation at all. So we're going to have to move on into game 3 down in Texas on Friday night.
Friday, May 9th, the Grand Rapids Griffins travel to Texas to play Game 3 of the best out of 5 series in the Central Division semifinals versus the Texas Stars. In goal, the Grand Rapids Griffins have Sebastian Kosa. The Texas Stars continue to roll with Remy Poirier.
Yeah, this is an elimination game for Grand Rapids with just under 7,000 fans in attendance for the Texas Stars at HEB Center in Cedar Park. So first period opens up here. As usual, Stars will score first. Artu Haru fires on the rush, and Cole Lind gets a huge rebound that Kosa leaves out. And yeah, that one to go up like that, not good.
Nope, not a good start to the game. So period continues on, and Grand Rapids Griffins answer. Amadeus Lombardi with some good moves gets behind the net, passes up to Brandsegg-Nygard, and he whips it in just like he did the game before. Almost identical goal with that vaporizing shot. Michael Brandsegg-Nygard gets his second goal here, playoffs. So it's a tie game at the end of the first. Even shots, 8-8. Better looking period from the Grand Rapids Griffins than everything we've seen so far in this series.
Yeah, so going into the second period, a shot from the point from Shai Boom lays in front of Remy Poirier, and Danielson will bury it as he gets the loose puck. And you got to mention, Snively made a nice pick on his man to get his guy out of the way, and Danielson all alone will bury this one on Poirier.
Yep, it almost looked like Snively wanted Daniel. He was like, "Get that puck, dude!"
Yep.
And yep, he
Sent
did.
it 5-hole.
Sent it right in, and bang, Nate Danielson shows up.
Right between the wickets, as Bob Kaiser said.
Nate Danielson gets his first of the playoffs, 48 seconds into the second.
Griffin's feeling good, up 2-1. Create another huge turnover in the neutral zone here, and Dominic Shine will take away with this one on the rush by himself on the right wing, and he fires it and just burns Poirier over the shoulder, putting the Griffins up 3-1.
Yeah, he got right down through the defense, right behind him, and there's nothing in the world that could have stopped Dominic Shine from scoring that goal.
Yeah, really good stuff. Love to see it. Well deserved, and puts the Griffins in a really good spot here.
I do got to mention Coastal played very well this period, stopping Blumel on the number 1 goal scorer in the AHL on breakaway. So that was a good play by him, staying strong. Amadeus Lombardi ends up getting his goal, the 4th goal for the Griffins.
Gettinger gets this puck over the blue line, gets a pass to a wide open, speedy Lombardi streaking down the slot, and the Stars defense doesn't really know what to do. They kind of lose Lombardi, and he just is all alone on Poirier, makes a deke, patient with the puck, reaches out, and beats him on the forehand.
Yeah, and that's what we really needed to see more of in this series. I kind of felt like game 2 and game 1. Lombardi came right in. He didn't care about anyone around him. He was scoring that goal. That's more of what we needed.
Yeah, and the last one, too, with Shine just ripping it from the right wing to beat Poirier from way out. So some shots just need to be fired on that here.
So 4-1, the Griffins are up going into the third period. All they got to do is not let them score 5 goals.
Yeah, great period with 14 shots for the Griffins here in this period to Texas's 9. So positive movement in the positive direction here for Grand Rapids. So to start the third period, I think Nate Danielson might have found himself a little cocky here after scoring. Griffins are up 4-1. And after all this time in the AHL, I think Nate Danielson decided to go Anakin Skywalker on him.
Yep, I think he turned right to the dark side.
Yeah, he comes at Cameron Hughes, tries to rip the helmet off, gets into a fight. Unfortunately, Cameron Hughes, the bigger guy here, has probably a little more experience in the fighting department, clocks him a couple good ones right at the end of the skirmish. So,
It knocks him right on the ground, and then the crowd erupts.
yeah, gets the Texas Stars right back into this game with a loud crowd. So
the crowd goes crazy, and there's just so much noise and so much going on, and then Kosa literally gives it right to them. It goes to play the puck, it gets away, and they get it behind the net, and they pass it right up to Bammel. Bammel there, we did good shutting them down till now. Bammel scores.
yeah, the dude does enough to get goals. We don't need to give him any. This one is just ugly. Like Kosa, you got to do something better with the puck than that. There's a star on both sides of them. So our defenseman not really in position to make a play, and Kosa's left out, but you got to do something better with the puck than what you did, and unable to get even after to make a defensive play on the puck to stop it. So just ugly. That one really gets the Texas Stars ramped up after the fight, and a goal like that. Now it's a 2-goal game.
And then we find ourselves in the penalty box.
Yeah, and this is a Nate Danielson slashing. So
Anakin continues on his path to the dark side.
yeah, and goes into the penalty box, and guess who gets the power play goal? Cameron Hughes. So right after all that, the power play cycles it around, and they get a shot in from the left wing, and Cameron Hughes just smashes it in right in front of Kosa. No one to do anything about Cameron Hughes in front of the net, but yeah, just believe this one was Ritzkovian that got the puck in again. So after the Cameron Hughes goal, it's 4-3, and the Stars shortly after, 2 minutes after actually, will make this one a tie game at 4-4 as Kyle Capobianco basically repeats the first goal of the series, fakes out Watson at the blue line with a shot, and then delays, gets a wide open shot in, and this one scrambles over to Trey Taylor. Trey Taylor will get his first goal of the postseason.
Yep. So that brings us to overtime. Brings us to overtime in the third period. The Griffins were outshot 15-4. I'd like to see more shots from the Griffins. That was just kind of not impressive. So we go into overtime, and I gotta say the Griffins looked good in the first overtime. I mean, it was kind of like didn't know who was going to score, but I thought the Griffins were playing really good hockey, and they're setting up good shots, and they had good opportunities. Kosa was standing on his head for us there for a while. Shots 9-8, and then we go into double overtime.
Yeah, Kosa here, he definitely had to stand up. I could feel that he felt responsible for the first goal and then the turnover goal. So the first 2 goals really were Kosa's fault in this one, but everything else he was stopping. And then the other goals he had to, like Connor said, starfish on the ground to try to make a save. So
then we got to end the game. William Wallander is pickpocketed, and they bring it right in front. We get it. Kosa tries to dive over to make a save, but they get it in, win, and Grand Rapids season ends.
Yeah, and this play right here is the epiphany of what William Wallinder's season has been for Grand Rapids this year. And he comes down, he's the first man to the puck, but he gets pickpocketed, stick lift, and they send it right to the center ice. And guess who? None other than Cameron Hughes finds that puck and just stretches out past Kosa's 6'6" frame and somehow gets that puck underneath his left leg as Wallinder desperately diving to make this save. It just doesn't work out for the Griffins, and somehow that puck just magneted itself right into the net.
Yep, that kind of seems like a ironic ending for Wallander this year. I kind of felt like that's how it's been going this playoffs. I feel like he's out there for a lot of the goals.
Yeah, a lot of the goals on the power play too. So
I think his development has taken not a good step so far lately in this end of the season for the Griffins, and he's really going to need to do a lot of work to be able to fit here in the Detroit organization, because as of right now, I don't see where he would fit up in Detroit or that.
Yeah, and with the arrival of ASP and some of these other guys, I mean, we really got to reassess our defensive core after this loss here, because Tuomisto, Boom, and company, it's rough. So
I would really have liked to have seen Nicehoff come back in a little bit. He seemed to be pretty good. I felt like all these young guys, I felt like there was just too many young guys on the defense. I felt like Nicehoff with a little more experience could have helped us out. I mean, he's a quick guy, he's a solid defender, but we didn't get to see that.
Yeah, I actually thought Didier, like some of the veterans stepped up here in the last game. Like Gettinger had a real good game, but yeah, it's just nothing was enough to propel the Griffins to success and victory, and that's what we wanted. So we can wrap this up. We can go ahead and get into the penalty box after some ads for the audio listeners.
Welcome to the penalty box. Welcome to the penalty box. This is the last segment of every show. It's our one chance to step out of hockey and end the episode in a fun note. We take the biggest idiot of the week, throw him in a penalty box for 2-minute minor, 4-minute double minor, 5-minute major, or game misconduct. Kyle, who are you throwing into the penalty box?
So in game 2, the weatherman always comes on and gives us a weather update at the end of the second intermission. Well, this weatherman clearly knew the future because he said, "Hope you all enjoy your evening in the last home game of the season." That was game 2. So either he knew something, which probably wasn't that hard to know, honestly. But
he made that he self-prophesied that.
Yeah, he manifested it into the arena, our home arena, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's our last home game," just like that.
We would have won the Calder Cup if it wasn't for this guy.
Yeah, we would have that little bit of comeback in Texas. We can just blame that all on the weatherman.
Yep, the weatherman. Have fun in the box. How long was thrown in for?
Just 2 minutes because he was right.
Yeah, he was right. So, have fun in the box, weatherman. All right. So, who I'm throwing into the box? I'm going to throw in the Utah Mammoth. The Utah Mammoth have officially released their name as the Utah Mammoth. They have released their official logo and their new saying, "Tusks up." Turns out the Mammoth logo concept was actually stolen from a fan concept that was previously put online with the mountains and everything. It's like very similar if you look at the original from the fan. He was paid nothing. And then also the Colorado Mammoth lacrosse team, their rally is Tusks Up. So they're mad too. So Mammoth facing some criticism and possibly some legal issues over their new name and new rally and new logo. So I'm going to throw them in the box for 2 minutes because probably look up stuff because they already had.
I think you got to give him the double minor here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give them the double minor. Yeah,
you got the two offenses. So
yeah, and actually too, they tried to have the Yeti, and Yeti coolers told them no. Like, so
I don't blame them too much. I think I'm actually going to give the Mammoth a fresh start here. I'm going to start fresh with them, but. Yeah, I did not like the Utah Hockey Club. They did nothing to make me like them at all.
Yeah, the logo is very cool. I will give that. I really like the look of it. I like their colors. I might actually like the Mammoth. I think it's a cool team. I thought the two Yetis would have been ridiculous. I'm just going to have to throw them in the box for stealing people's stuff. So,
yep.
Have fun in the box for 4-minute double minor.
Yeah, at some point when you're trying to do something like this, you can't really do anything without stealing something because something's already out there that you're trying to do. It's already been done.
Yep, we're reaching the end of new things.
Yeah, so keep your minds open, humanity. Keep expanding.
Yep, that should do it for the penalty box. So thank you everyone for listening to the Griffins Pipeline podcast. That's going to wrap us up for this episode.
And this season.
We're going to do some stuff this summer. We're going to go over some of the players in the pipeline that we don't really get to go over. We'll probably try to get someone to talk about some Toledo. We'll probably just pretty much go over some of these new prospects, and we'll be back for like the draft and the prospect tournament and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and the red versus white game coming to Van Andel this offseason. We'll make sure to be part of that. We got some things in line for sure. But yeah, we are looking forward to this offseason, I guess, in lack of better terms. It's time for the Griffins to regroup and come back stronger next year.
Yeah, and it's the same for us as a podcast. We're going to try to get a couple more people involved. We're going to try to do some more giveaways. We're going to try to do everything we can to improve this podcast and keep helping out other fans and making more Griffins fans. So we'll catch you next time. Go Griffins.
Go Griffins.
Thank you for listening to the Griffins Pipeline podcast. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star review. We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We are not partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Detroit Red Wings, or Toledo Walleye. We are not experts. We are just die-hard fans looking to make a community with others alike. Let's go Griffins Nation. Join the fun, like, and follow us on Facebook and X. Or call into the show and have your opinion heard 1-616-319-1175. Thank you. Grand Rapids Griffins, Toledo Walleye, and Detroit Red Wings. Players, coaches, websites, and social media. Thank you AHL.com, NHL.com, ETL.com, EliteProspects.com, and anyone else putting out information on the teams. Until next time, go Griffins. Go Red Wings, go Walleye.